Praise. Praise the Lord. Hello, good morning. So let's just start. I think we are like 1 hour behind. So if you have your PC, hello, hello. No, no, no. All right. So as we can all see the screen on the board there, um, I told us last week that there is a software that developers can use, that developers can actually use if you want to start coding. Basically, I said there are different tools that you can use, but yeah, this is actually one of the most popular. Yes, it's actually one of the most popular um, tools that developers actually use. So if you have your PC, you can actually go to this site and download. Um, so if you want to get that software, hello. Yeah, so you can just open your browser and search for VS Code. Okay. So you can just go to your browser and search for this guy, Visual Studio Code or Visual Code, anyone. Yeah. So you have to choose your PC. If it is Windows 10, so you can apprehend your search with your operating system version. So you just click on the link, the first link that appears. Basically, I think this is actually the site code.visualstudio.com. So you see different Windows operating system. Um, these are like the three basic operating system that we have out there. Okay, all right. So you can go to this site. Like I said, we have like three popular operating system out there. We have Windows, we have Linux, and we have Mac. So if your PC is actually Windows, like Windows 10, 7, SP, any version, you just click on this icon here. And if you are using Linux, yeah, if you are using Linux, you just click on this guy. And if you are using Mac laptop, you just click on this icon here. So it will download the software for you. I already downloaded it here. And I believe we all know how to install the software on our PC. So so I've installed um, the software on my PC. All right, so this is the software, and basically, I was saying something about some kind of framework or some things that can actually make your work much more easier and efficient. So, if you come to your sidebar here, I don't know if you can see it clearly from there. So this section is for you to search for maybe your folder, your entire folder on your site or your software you're trying to build. And this one is for Git. We'll still come to that later on. Like I said, this one is for collaboration among developers. And this one is just to run your code, but we don't need this one. So this guy here is, they call it like an extension. So there are millions of extensions that you can install on this software that can actually make your work much more faster and efficient. So basically, I just installed this one now, Live Server. So what it does is, traditionally, if you try to write anything on your site, you will have to maybe open it in your browser. So basically, I just created a folder now called web design. So inside this folder, let me just create. I don't know if anybody actually misses the online section that we had yesterday. So we did something similar to this um, yesterday. So basically, I said something yesterday that there's what they call there's a body that's we call W3C. W3C. So what this body does is they are the one that regulates all the tags, the syntax that we use in writing web application. So this body actually came up with this extension called HTML. So there are different other extensions that you can use depending on the language that you're trying to build. So if you want to develop, let's say for example, I want to add maybe CSX now to this site, I will have to use maybe let me call it style dot CSS. As you can see, with different name that I'm actually using, actually comes with different icons. I don't know if you noticed that. So basically, this body came up with the the regulatory for the HTML. And let me just give us a snippet on that. So basically, if you're trying to do anything on your site, on your system, there's what they call extension, right? Let's say, for example, you are trying to create a Word document. It's going to have like .doc, right? So if you create um, a notepad on your PC, it's going to have .txt. So different files with different extensions. So the regulatory body actually came up with the HTML to render a web document. So anything I type here on board will be regarded as a website. So and the beautiful thing about this VS Code is I said something about there are two things that this VS Code actually gives you. There's what they call linting. We can take note of that. Linting, Linting. I'll type it here. We can always see it on the screen. There's what they call linting. There's what they call linting, and there's what they call snippets. So these two are like, let me just say, the basic functionalities that developers actually get when they are using tools like this. So what this snippets does is, as you can see what I did now when I was trying to create this whole stuff here, I just typed like 3 words and it gave me this whole structure here. So basically HTML does what we call is a markup language. It contains tags. And there's a syntax for it. It has a opening tag and also a closing tag. It has a opening tag and a closing tag. So and this is like the basic rules for hits. As you can see, like as I'm typing anything, it's giving me like an int. So P is for paragraph. So so this is like the basic rules. I actually did all this stuff yesterday night. I don't know if we missed that. I will encourage us to join maybe one of this week. It could be tomorrow. So we can like dive deeper into this stuff. I've already done all this yesterday. So I don't know if anybody actually misses the were you there yesterday? You're there, right? Prince. Joanne, okay, yeah. So I think for like two huh? Yeah, online. Yesterday night. So I just want to give us like a summary again so that's because he actually attended the stuff yesterday night. So that's just like the stuff. So this is okay. I was saying something about the opening and closing tags. So this is like the basic syntax for it. And also, if you notice this this stuff, this small icon here is showing white. White means this document is not saved yet. Just like in Word documents, if you are typing something, you need to save it, right? But for it to reflect or for you to see the changes or the updates. So VS Code has 2 features. You can choose autosave. This autosave. So if I mark this as autosave, anything I type on Word will be autosave by itself. And you can also choose to uncomment it out if you don't want to. So if you uncomment it out, if I type anything, I will have to be pressing Ctrl S. And developers are actually lazy. I will just save myself the stress and use this autosave. And so I said something like I'm actually using an extension called Live Server. So it will make your work much more. Sorry, let me see. Okay. Uh, okay, this is what I was actually looking for. This icon. I don't know. Okay, we can't see it clearly. Oh. So Okay. All right. So basically, I said something yesterday night about document rendering. So all what I'm actually doing here is already showing on the browser here, as you can see. Um, let's dive deeper into some other items that we want to. All right. Um, so yesterday we actually did some couple of we did some couple of coding. So I will just try and continue from where we stopped. So yesterday night, I think we stopped at. Can you remind me? We did H1. We did images, right? Let me start with H1. My first heading. Okay, I'm trying to give. I'm trying to give like a summary. I'm trying to give like a summary. But then we'll still try and maybe schedule another time. That one is not a problem. It's not a problem. Like it's not a problem. We can have like other sections where I will. Yeah, yeah, no problem, no problem. So let me call this one first. Wait, are we seeing what I'm actually doing? Sorry, are you seeing any first aid in there? You're not seeing anything. It's showing first aid in, right? Yes. Okay, okay, yeah. That's fine. Oh, sorry, I'm not seeing it, right? But are you seeing it there? No, not like at this side here. At the browser. At the browser. You're not seeing it. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know which one will I try. So this is just like a summary of what we did yesterday. Um, so this is like the summary of what we did yesterday. I actually give a brief intro about the skeleton. So let me just give us a summary. So I said in web developments, there are three layers that I will try and give us a focus on. I will try and explain. The three layers are HTML, we have HTML, we have CSS, and we have JavaScript. We have HTML, sorry, we have CSS, and we have JavaScript. So let me give a summary again about these three. So HTML, which is what we are trying to do here, this HTML here, it's a markup language. Then the next we have CSS, also known as cascading style sheets. Cascading style sheets. And we have this as a JavaScript. JavaScript is still JavaScript. So in summary about what these three does is, these three are like, they are like three arms of web development. Let me use that word. And I will use a simple analogy so that we can clearly understand. Just see these three as your body, right? Your body. So we all have a skeleton, right, in our body. So all what we are seeing here, they are like the skeleton of the websites. All these tags here, they are skeleton. They are skeleton. This body, header tag, this line, they are skeleton. Then the CSS is more of like different colors. Yeah, we have some people who are black, some are chocolates, some are albinos, some are Asian. So these are what like CSS is all about. CSS is more of like styling your web page. So take for instance, I can say this H1, I want it to have, I want this H1 to be maybe color red, and I want H2 to be color blue, and I want so I will still try and explain this. So that is what like the basic of what style is all about. I've already entered CSS here. So that is what CSS is all about. Then JavaScript is more of like giving it an action. So as we can see my cursor here, JavaScript is more of like giving your website a function. Function in the sense that I can say, I want your name, Samuel. I can say I want Samuel to walk from here to along. So that's like an action. So this is what actually regulates or gives actions to your site. So if you see some sites, you see some different dancing animation, you see maybe you click on one event, you see like a pop-up, stuff like that. All those are what JavaScript actually does. So it gives actions to your website. Yeah, so and then we also talked about the different tags here, like the basic one that we'll be using for now. And we also talked about the P tag, which is like a paragraph tag. Welcome to my site, to my website. Also, let me just give a summary again about all what we are seeing here. I said this guy, this old stuff we are seeing here is like a skeleton to our website. So this first line here, as we can see, we are seeing a document type. This doc type is a document type. You know, I said something about somebody that we call W3C. They are the one that regulates all these tags, all these names that you are seeing here. So the default is a doc type. Like we are trying to tell the browser that I should render everything that is here in a web format, in a web page, right? Then the next line that we are seeing here is the lang. Lang means language. So you can write your site such that you want it to translate from maybe English to Spanish to French to Yoruba or Igbo. So this is where they set all the variables here. Then we have what is called the header tag. Header tag contains your metadata about your site. It also contains the title. It contains the styling of your site and also the JavaScript. So all those metadata are always embedded inside this header tag. So the basic one that we have here is the meta tag by default, which is the character. Character is in the sense that any form of character that we try to use here is going to this HTML doc elements is going to like render those documents as a web page, because we'll be using different hexadecimal code. And let me try and highlight on this stuff. And I said something about the beautiful thing about using all these kind of tools like this VS Code. As you can see, because I actually place my cursor on the character set. So that's the abbreviation character set. As you can see what it's showing here. So there's a body that we'll call ANSI. We'll still come to that. So also Unicodes, yeah, basically all this stuff are like Unicodes. Imagine how can you be having like a colon or a semicolon? Yeah, so these are the body that actually regulate all these things, such that if I try to use all those hexadecimal code or those Unicode character, it will see and notify the browser that render this stuff as a web page. Then also we have the title. So this title is what we are seeing at the top corner. I don't know if my mouse can see it. If you check the browser there, I have 3 tabs there, right? So the third one is the documents, right? I don't know if you can see it. Documents. My mouse can't over there. Documents. So you can check this one here. You see where I actually make the changes. You see this document here. Let me change it to something else. You can see that it's changing from the tab, right, on the browser. So this is where you make the changes to your website. So if you see any site that you see Jumia.com or Facebook.com, these are where they set the title for those web page. You can see the other two that actually opens. Download VS Code. I can actually add it to my own stuff too here. Download VS Code. So that is where they actually set all the title that you're seeing there. Now you'll be wondering, how about the icon behind it? How about the icon? We'll still come to that. So there is what they call favicon icon. Okay, so we'll still get to that. There's what we call favicon icon. It's the favicon icon that actually renders behind the title of a document. We'll still come to that. Then all the basic thing that you are seeing on the body, on the website, all the actions are being done here, inside this body here. So anything that I typed here will be rendered on my website. So also we did some link tags, right? We did some link tags. We have different tags for link. I guess I use facebook.com. Facebook. I hope my spelling is correct. We have Facebook. Let me use another one. As you can see, the beautiful thing about using all this kind of tools, it saves me time in trying to use or start typing all the tags one after the other. I think, yeah, that's, let me just stop there. So we have like these three tags. As you can see, the first one here is showing, um, so as you can see, the first one here is showing Facebook. So if I click on this, if we click on that link, it will take us to Facebook page. And if you click on the second one, you can see developer. It means, um, I want to, maybe from your site, you want your customer to actually mail you directly from your site. And if you see some sites where they will say mail me or email the, yeah, so this is how they actually implement the stuff. And if you see some site that it will see like a prompt that will say call so number or this, so that's how they implement the features there. So basically, part of the summary that we also did yesterday was we have different tags. There's what they call opening and closing of tags, and there's some tags that we call empty tag. Empty tag in the sense that they don't have a opening or closing. They just have just one tag like this. So these are like the sample of that. This BR tag. Another one is HR. Another one is HR, horizontal line. As you can see, we just draw an horizontal line at our website. So let's dive a little bit into some other stuff. So wow, yeah, I just closed. So I want us to dive a little bit. I'm trying to open the document, but it's actually showing off. And also, I guess we also use some tags for image. We use some tag for image. We did images too. So this one is for image. So if you see some sites where they actually render some images, this is how they render the images. And I said we have three different types of images, right? We have three different types of images. And for you to see the action that the image is being rendered, you need to pass in width and height. Width and height of 200. So we can see that like there's an icon there that is showing like an image. So for us to use that image, let's just grab a site. Let's grab, um, let me try and download one images. Um, let's go to google.com. Yeah, let's grab this. So I can just come here, save images. Is it on a document? Yeah. All right. So um, now what did I use to save? As you can see, the image is already showing on my folder here. I save it with text, right? And you can see the extension .jpeg. I said something about maybe extensions because we actually use HTML. That is why we can render this whole entire site as a web page. Now, the extension for images, we have like 3 or 4 popular that we have. We have Web WEBP, we have JPEG, we have PNG, we have GIF. So this one is actually JPEG, which is JPG. So I will just change this to JPG. So as we can see that our images is now showing. So our images is actually showing now. That's how to render images on your site. So the next thing is let's dive deeper into what's for today. The document is not opening simultaneously here. I might have to use my phone to open it. All right, so I was saying something too that all these tags they also have their own attributes. There's what we call attributes and properties. So these tags now, for example, if you see the style that I use here, style is like an attribute to each one. You can use style on any tag, right? So I set this first heading to red. I can change this one and set this one to tomato blue. Style, color. Uh, sorry. Let me look for a color. Let's check chocolate or let's use brown. So our second heading is actually brown. So that is how like to style your header or your paragraph tag. And also this style is like attributes. All what you are seeing inside here is properties. So on that style of attributes, we have a properties of color that also has a value. So the syntax for this one is your attributes inside your tag and also the properties. So part of the properties for styling is color. So we have colors, we have fonts, we have text align. So let's see how we can add fonts to this. Let's say we have fonts. I can say font family of as you can see, the beautiful thing about using this VS Code is giving me like different font that I can actually use. So let me use this one. Whoa. As you can see that the second heading actually changes. The fonts are different. So that is for fonts. And another one is I can give it a maybe font size of let's say I don't like the way the size is. I want to maybe increase it a bit. So we have some default font size. You can use large, larger, medium, smaller, X large, X small, XS large, or SS small. And we also have percentage and pixel. So those are like different ways in which you can actually give your fonts different sizes. So let's try. Let's use pixel. So let me say 60 pixel. Wow, that's actually big. So let's use 40. So I can say this one should be 40 pixel. Let's come here and style this header to again, this H3. So let me give this one, I want to make the font to be bold or bolder, anyone. So as you can see here, we have from 1 to 900. That's like the default fonts that you can use. Now it now depends on the font family that you are using. There are some font family that is only from 1 to 5, and there are some is only 1 to 8. So you have to check the documentations for the fonts that you want to use and see the numbers that they actually accept. So let's just use bold here. That's for heading 3. Yeah, so you might not really see the differences. Why? Because this H3 tags actually has its own default bold that is being embedded to it. But if you want to see the action of this bold that is actually working, let's use this paragraph. Welcome to my website. That's before the Facebook. Let me add it here. Let me give it font weight of or let me use border. You can see it actually changes a bit. I don't know if you noticed that. Let me see. Okay, let me use 900. I hope this one can actually. Yeah, I don't know if you actually noticed, right? So you can actually use a style using this font bold and this guy, and the other way around that you can actually use to make this paragraph bold is by using a B tag. There's another B tag, a bold tag. You can just append it to your text here. Just say B. You can see B. Let me call this one my bold. You can see that my bold is actually bold, while the welcome and website is a little bit different. So there's a tag called bold. You can use it to bold your text, and we also have italic. We also have italic. We have italic. We have italic slant text. Can we see it beside the? Can you see the slants? Yeah, before Facebook. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Let me draw horizontal line so that we can see it clearly. Okay, yeah. So that's for slant. They use a tag called I. I would also share this document to the group chat so that we can actually see all the tags and see how we can use them. So we have this italic tags too as well. If you want to slant your text, you can easily use that. So what I'm just doing now, I'm just giving us some basic tags that we'll be using. And I also said in the previous class that we will ended up developing this Facebook. We'll develop this Facebook. We'll do this together. Yeah, we'll try and design this site. Yeah, we'll design this site. Maybe our next class we'll try and design this site. Wait, where is my stuff that I'm doing? Okay, yeah. So that's for that. Let me see if I can draw some other. Okay, we also have text align too. Look at this. Let me create a new paragraph. Let me say center. I would say style text align center. Yeah, we will not see it has actually make that my text center of the screen. Let me see if I can show us where it is there. Oh, sorry. I don't want to change what my boss has done here. Sorry, I wanted to show us the stuff, but okay. Yeah, can we all see? This is center here. This text here. So because I use that P align there. I use this P align center, which means I want my text to be center. So irrespective of the screen size that I use, this text will be centered. So we have several other tags, and I wish I can actually try and share that with us. But I will drop it on the group chat so that we can actually go through them and see how to use them. Um, okay, let me still give us like maybe there's two more. So let's say for example this is text and I have this one subtext. Up. Can we see what I'm typing there? So let me see. This one is soup. Soup. Okay, down. down. This one will be up. Why this one will be down? So if you see some sites where they are trying to say 10% or stuff like that, or they want to make some text of, well, these are like the tags that they actually use. And also we have delete text too. We have delete text. To just like give like a slash above your text. All these are still like some basic things that I'm just trying to get familiar, like you guys should be familiarized with, so that when we start diving deeper into the code, then we just need to know how to use all these tags. Then basically we have two types of style. We have the inline styling and we have the external styling. We have internal styling and external styling. So all what we've done here so far is called inline styling. Inline is you are trying to style your individual paragraph or text or header, anything. And we also have, so the inline is still of two types. So you can do your inline, you can declare your inline within your header tag here. So this where to, okay, we have this one. So here I can say I want my P to be this. Um, so I don't know if, you can see that it actually changes my paragraph at that's my bold text, this side here, because I declare this paragraph. So anytime I'm using this paragraph now, it's going to make my font size large. So this one is like a global declaration of styling. And this one is like an inline styling. The other one is maybe you can create your own folder here, like style.css, and you start adding the styling to your site. So anything you actually typed there, once you call the extension to your site here, if you call it here, let's say link CSS, yeah, style. So this is how to link an external link to your site. So basically what I did is I just called this style, this one here that I created here, inside this place here. So this is like an external styling. So anything I do here will definitely reflect on my site. Let's take something now. Let's say body, background color of blue. As you can see what happened. So basically I just created an external styling. So anything I do here, it will definitely reflect on this site. And the reason why it's actually affecting the entire site is because I styled the body tag. Like I said, the body tags actually contains everything that you're seeing on the site. So if I wanted to be specific on the particular tag that I want to style, I can just come here and change it to, let me say P. Let me change this one to P. Let's say P. As you can see that all the whole paragraph text, they all have a background color of blue. So with this, we can always try to style our website. So, and I can also say I want this one. Let me say Facebook now, for example. I can just say class of class of FA Facebook. So if I come here and I just say ID of Facebook, Facebook, I can say I want the background to be red, background color to be brown. As you can see that the Facebook actually changes there. So these are like basic syntax of how you can style your site. So for you to use that like an external what is it called? External styling on your site, you just have to create a file called style.css. You can call it anything. You can use your name. You can use the name of your pets, anything you use, but it must have this .css. And if you're trying to call that styling to your website, you just declare it here like this. And the beautiful thing about using this VS Code, like I said, is it actually gives you into anything you want to do. You know, I'll say something about the Favicon that I wanted to add to. This is how they add Favicon. You can use this to add the Favicon icon. So I might just need to grab a icon or an image, compress it, and change it to an icon. Let's see if we can get one online now. Let's see. So I use this site to convert my image to a Favicon, favicon.io. I use this site to convert any images to an icon. So you can use this site to convert any image to an icon. So I'll just click on this image to icon. Okay. Okay. All right. So basically, this is how you can convert your. You just come here. This guy here. You just come to your folder. Where is the web design? Web design is under documents. Web design. Yeah. So I just downloaded the Favicon icon. I'll just come here, extract. Oh, we can still see my screen. So I'll give us like an assignment on this. I think I also dropped some assignments yesterday night, so I can try and review that in maybe in the next few minutes. Let's say for those that are around, we can always sync so that we can have a walkthrough on that. So, but then you can use this site to convert any images to your Favicon. Like if you want to use the Favicon here, just like the way we have this icon here, just like we have Google here, we can convert. You can use the site to convert your Favicon icon. Then you extract it and add it to your site. Would add it here. So that will be all for today, and we'll try and sync later on. We'll try and sync. So these are around. So we'll try and sync before I actually leave. So thank you very much. I'll also try and drop the link. I mean the documents, so that if we want to check all those tags, we can always make use of it.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.